Welcome back everybody to another video. This one is going to be a little bit different than what you guys are used to. I'm going to go ahead and cover 3 races in this video, and we're going to kind of see how giving you guys more of the highlights goes. See if you guys enjoy that more. Anyway, we are here in the Mercedes at Hockenheimring. The tune is by Ottavio Orange 65. I believe he's now HYR Ottavio. The design, of course, is by Clamp God. And at the beginning of each clip, I will show you guys, both who the tune is by and who the design is by. So, anyway, here on lap 1, started in last as per usual. And had pretty decent amount of action here, so I went ahead and wanted to show you guys all this action. Just kind of working our way up through the field here. Not really had any battles or anything. Most of our positions have just been gained mostly because people are going off the track. I believe here in a moment we're going to get by this BMW. It might be right as we go on to lap 2, I can't remember, but here we go. Inside, across the line at the start of lap 2 here, and we just get that move done, and we are able to make it stick. Skipping ahead to the end of lap 2 here, we did have a Mercedes, and that Mercedes went off and that Ferrari dipped a tire, and that allowed us to get past him. We are about to have a pretty nice battle, not only holding off TXR iRiot, who is behind us right now and is gonna fall back a little bit with a battle with that Ferrari, but he will catch back up later in the race. But we're now focused on Rowdy Soda 652373 here, and we were gonna be trying to make our move right at the end of the straight into the hairpin. And just a little tap there, and we're able to get a slightly better punch out of the corner. He also dips some tires onto the grass there, slowing him down just a little bit. We do leave him room as we go up the inside. Hard onto the brakes, making sure to stay right on that racing line. And moved up into 8th place. Skipping ahead now to the start of lap 7, coming out of the pits. We are here in 13th, and I believe that again, going into the hairpin here, we are, I can't remember if it's High Riot that catches us. I think we might, or no, okay, here we go. We are about to make a move on this NSX, I believe, here in just a moment. we do have that pressure by TXR iRiot, still staying within a second of us and gaining here and there and losing a little bit of time. But yeah, so the NSX goes off here and we follow him, and that is how TXR got by us, and he will maintain that lead ahead of us for the rest of this race. Coming up to the end of lap 7 here, I do believe there are quite a few people who have pit, so we should be gaining a few positions back here. I think so we do wind up back in 10th here, and that's, not a lot happened over the course of lap 8 and most of lap 9, so we're skipping ahead here to the end of lap 9, and we have this nice train of cars right in front of us, and we're going to get a better exit out of that final corner than Kurumi and get that move done down the start finish straight. Wasn't a great exit out of turn 1, which did let Kurumi get back up, but we're going to go ahead and take that defensive line and hold him off with a better punch out of the corner down onto the back straight. Not much happened after we got by Kurumi, so we're skipping ahead here to lap 11, and I believe we wind up fighting this BMW all the way to the line, and is it right out of the final corner? It might be right out of the final corner that we get this guy, or is it right here and then we get the Ferrari? I can't remember, but a nice move there on Hairi Chen. I don't know if that's supposed to be a play on words for Harry Chen or what, but got the move done on the Beamer, and now trying to get within that 1 second penalty. Unfortunately, the Ferrari was just a little bit too far ahead of us. At least I believe that's a Ferrari. And yeah, we are going to settle for an 8th place. Not too bad. Just a little bit slow in the beginning. A little bit slow getting going, getting through some of the traffic. So anyway, on to our next race here at Hakone. We are going to be in the NSX for this one, tuned by HYR Altavio, designed by ClampGod. And go ahead and drop to the back here like we typically do. This first lap had quite a bit of action, so we are going to go ahead and watch the entire first lap. A bunch of slow moving guys here getting bunched up in traffic, and that allows us to get the run through turn 1 and onto the back straight. We are going to get forced off the track here by this Aston, and the game is going to reward us with a nice 8/10 penalty. So that is a little unfortunate and a little dumb, but I suppose it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day, as you guys will see as this race unfolds. We did do better in this race than the last one, I can tell you that. We are also in here with a few people. This was recorded during this particular race was recorded during a live stream, and we were in here with Justin, Anthrax, and Luke, I believe. So shout out to those guys. You will see them, their names on the leaderboard. There's Luke right in front of us. Now Anthrax is in front of us. Skipping ahead here to the end of lap 2. we are going to have quite a few good battles with Anthrax throughout this race. Here, coming out of the final corner, we get a nice punch past the Mercedes, keeping right up there with Anthrax, and a little bit of contact. We're going to go ahead and dive up the inside here, get by that Lamborghini who went wide, back off just a tiny bit to let Anthrax go ahead and go in the Ferrari, because we won't outrun him down the straight. But he gets a little bit loose and bounces off the wall. Thankfully, we were able to avoid him. We did lose a little bit of momentum there doing that, but no collisions. He does back off here just a tiny bit, and we go ahead and pull a little bit of a gap. Coming in here to turn 1 on lap 4, up here behind this Bentley, and we get a better run out of the first corner, and we get this move done. And now we're getting hunted by Anthrax down the back straight. He is going to go for the move this time. So we are going to defend. Coming into the corner, brake just a hair later, and keep my nose alongside his rear tire there. Dive up the inside, and we are back in front. Little off track there, but thankfully the game had some mercy on us. Skipping ahead here to the end of lap 5, not much has changed. We have closed up on the back of this Lamborghini, and we are just gonna sneak by him here on the start-finish straight as we are starting lap 6. And that's basically where we stayed until our pit stop. We came out of the pits in P14, and we are up here right behind P13. I do believe there are a few people who pit. Yeah, quite a few people who pit, so we did get all the way back up into 8th. On the next lap there, and we did come out ahead of Anthrax, who is back behind us. After the second round of, or the second group who made their pit stops just a little bit later, we're now up into 2nd place. Anthrax does have on soft tires, I believe. He pit at the end of lap 9, so I think he went 9 medium, 7 soft. Anthrax, if you see this, feel free to leave a comment and let us know. But with that advantage, he is going to go ahead and get by us here, and we're just, we're going to try to get back up the inside here. Can't quite do it, and I think this is just kind of where we settled in, and that's yeah, we just basically finished right here and snagged a podium, and it was a 3-way lockout. Right here at the end, if I didn't have a penalty, I would have gotten 2nd place, because Anthrax ran out of gas. So if you watch here, you can see the time ticking down. We're just taking loads of time off of him through these last couple of corners, and then bam, he runs out of gas, and we get just ahead of him. But unfortunately, due to the penalty, we do settle for a 3rd place. Luke with the really cool time of a 1:12.0, Anthrax with a 1:12.2, 1:12.7 for me. So not bad times. Definitely the 1:12 dead is it's always cool to see 000s there. So yeah, GG to those guys. And here we are doing our little celebration on the podium. You love to see it. And that will take us into our third and final race of the video. And we are here at Silverstone in this race in the Bentley. The tune is my tune, design is by Clamp God. And we drop to the back as per usual. There are a few pretty fast people in here, one of whom actually is Ottavio. Unfortunately, he does quit at some point, but he is in here. So, got a good one for you guys here. We, let's just say we do pretty darn well. And we'll go ahead and watch some of this unfold here as we move our way up into 15th after the first couple of corners. Trying to work around the outside of this Ferrari here, but he's just going to kind of push us off the track. So we'll try to go back up underneath to get much more alongside, and he leaves just enough space. Have to tap the brakes to avoid hitting the Mercedes, but we are going to just defend from this Ferrari. Into Maggots and Beckett's here. Lambo got real loose. Ferrari just comes charging up the inside, slams me into the Lambo, pit maneuvers himself on the Lambo's front bumper, and takes himself out. That was an ambitious and aggressive dive bomb, and I guess it just didn't quite work out for him. Coming up to the end of lap 1 here, still, battling it out. Dive up the inside on this NSX. Do leave him just enough room, but he did manage to defend the inside quite well and hold on to that position. This Lamborghini gets super loose, slams into the wall, and that is another free position for us. Trying to come around the outside of the NSX here. Not too late on the brakes, but do hold a nice tight line, and we managed to get by the NSX and the Ferrari. So we also wound up getting into this big old fight with that same Ferrari, the Cadillac, and just broke a little too early. Got outbroke by the Ferrari, but the Cadillac did go deep, which messed with the Mercedes, and that allowed us to cut up the inside and take both of those positions. And we're here in 8th. Do have a little bit of a battle with this Ferrari. He does eventually start to pull away, but I do want to show you this little sequence of events through Maggots and Beckett's here. We close up, and if you notice, there's a car off-roading here. Another Ferrari. And because of his off-road adventures, we gain another free position. The battle between this Ferrari and the Ferrari in front of the Ferrari sandwich that I'm in, does continue here just right to the end of this lap. And then here he just kind of starts to pull away. Skipping ahead here on lap 3, we have one Ferrari in front of us and two Ferraris behind us, and we're just holding on for dear life, trying to keep them behind us and catch up. One thing I do want to point out, if you rewind just a tiny bit, you will notice that we were in 7th and then suddenly we were in 5th. I believe one of the people who quit at that moment in time was HYR Otavio. I don't know who the other one was, but that moves us up into 5th, and we're skipped ahead here to the end of lap 4, beginning of lap 5, chasing down Chandler, and Chandler and I have a nice battle here. This is really a really nice back and forth, a little bit of bumping and whatnot, but generally, very nice, clean, tough battle. And yeah, AD definitely put up a great fight, and it was back and forth, as you guys will see. So I will go ahead and let this battle and kind of the action speak for itself, and I will talk to y'all in just a couple of minutes. We did have a little bit of contact there, which did put us off our line and onto the grass, allowed him to move back by. We do close back up here a little bit on this back straight going through this corner. And right back next to him, he feigns like he's going to defend and then dives into the pits, along with everybody else that was in front of us. So we are going to go ahead and get by everybody here while they're in the pits, and we will find ourselves in first place, at least for the duration of this lap. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to the beginning of lap 7. We just come out of the pits. We came out in 6th place, and immediately we are under pressure by an NSX. We are going to successfully defend from him and turn our sights onto the Porsche directly ahead. Thankfully, the game had mercy there and did not give us a penalty for that off-track adventure. Closing in on the Porsche here through Maggots and Beckett's, and we will get a better push out of that corner and onto this back straight here. The soft tires definitely helping with that. He is going to look to the inside here, but does wind up backing out. I go a tiny bit wider than I'd like to, but not too far off the racing line. The Porsche and that Mercedes both dive into the pits. We skip ahead here to Maggots and Beckett's again on lap 8, where I cut the track just a tiny bit, got an 8/10 penalty. I am hunting this Lexus like crazy, pushing really hard, trying to catch up. At this point, I had written off first place, but then the guy in first place pit a second time. So I'm not sure what happened with his race, but that is not ideal. So we're right here fighting it out with Curry Stop It in the Lexus, coming up on the end of lap 8. And yeah, move up into third because Willie the Asian decided to pit. And we are all over the back of Curry Stop It, putting a lot of pressure on him, trying to force a mistake here. And we get a much better run out of that last section onto this straight, which does help us close up on him just a little bit, and being a little bit better on the brakes really lets us close that gap up going into pretty much every corner. Thought about sneaking up the inside there. He did manage to close it off, and starts to pull that gap again. But through the sweeping right-hander, making up that time back into Maggots and Beckett's, where we seem to make up a pretty decent amount of time on a lot of people, at least in this race. And getting a better run out of the corner onto the back straight. Was defending, decided not to, and we had just enough of a better run to hold that inside line going into this corner. Hit the brakes a little bit later, parked it on the apex, and that is the move done. Now the thought process is, can I make up about 2 seconds, a little over 2 seconds on the guy in first in one lap to try to get within his penalty range? And my initial thought was probably not going to happen. However, skipping ahead here to the end of lap 10, as you can see, we have closed right up onto the back of Dex DG here, and we were well inside that penalty range, and that gives us a last to first for the final race of this video. Actually, not a bad lap time. Oh, that BMS Torque guy is the other one who quit with Ottavio that was in front of us. That was the purplish Ferrari. Pretty good lap time, 2:02.5. Definitely good for me, especially in the Bentley. But yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this new video format. Let me know for sure, whether it might be by leaving a like or a comment. If you are new and this is your first video, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will leave it a like and consider subscribing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.